Emily, a hard-working woman from the small town of Willow Creek, is known for her independence and resilience. She runs a farm and takes care of her ailing father, refusing to ask for help. Over time, the weight of her responsibilities becomes overwhelming, and she feels exhausted. Yet she continues to carry the burden, afraid that letting go will cause everything to fall apart. One evening, her father gently tells her that the strongest thing she can do is surrender. Let go of the need for control and trust others. Emily, initially resistant to this idea, begins to see the truth in his words after a chance moment of reflection in the fields. Slowly, she starts reaching out for help, asking neighbors to assist with the farm and her father's care. As Emily learns to trust others and accept support, she experiences a sense of peace she hadn't known in years. She discovers that strength isn't just about holding on to everything. Sometimes, it's about letting go. By allowing herself to surrender, Emily finds balance in her life, and her farm continues to thrive. Ultimately, she learns that true strength lies in embracing vulnerability and trusting both herself and the people around her. The next morning, Emily rose before the sun, determined to push through another long day. She began her morning routine, feeding the animals, checking the crops, tending the barn, and yet something felt different. Her father's words echoed in her mind, a quiet refrain she couldn't ignore. That afternoon, as Emily worked in the fields, she caught sight of the sunset, painting the sky in brilliant shades of gold and pink. For a brief moment, she stopped what she was doing and simply watched. The beauty of the scene took her by surprise. It was the kind of thing she hadn't noticed in years. She was so consumed by work, by the need to control everything, that she had lost sight of what mattered. The world around her had been there all along, waiting for her to see it. It was in that moment that Emily felt a shift within her. She realized her father had been right. She didn't have to carry the weight of everything on her own. Maybe, just maybe, it was okay to ask for help. She wasn't invincible, and she didn't have to do everything herself. But the idea of letting go was still terrifying. Could she really trust others to take on the tasks she had carried for so long? Would the world truly keep turning if she wasn't the one in control? That evening, as Emily sat at the kitchen table with her father once more, she felt a stirring inside her, a quiet resolve. "I think you're right, Dad," she said, her voice softer than before. "I can't keep doing this alone. I need to let go a little bit." Her father's face lit up with a smile, his eyes filled with pride. "It's not about giving up, Emily. It's about finding balance. You don't have to carry everything on your own. Trust that there are people who care about you and want to help." The next day, Emily made the difficult decision to reach out. She called a neighbor, Sarah, who had always been kind and offered help in the past. Emily hesitated for a moment before dialing, but when Sarah answered, Emily's voice was steady. "Sarah," she began, "I've been running myself ragged, and I need some help with the harvest. Do you think you could lend a hand?" To her surprise, Sarah didn't hesitate. "Of course, Emily. I've been meaning to come over and help. Let me know what you need." It was a first step. Emily felt a weight lift off her shoulders, though she couldn't yet shake the nagging feeling that she was somehow betraying herself. But as Sarah arrived the next morning, Emily found that working alongside someone wasn't as daunting as she had imagined. In fact, it felt good. They laughed together, shared stories, and worked side by side. For the first time in months, Emily felt a sense of ease. As the weeks passed, Emily slowly began to embrace the idea of surrender. She asked more friends for help, accepted support from neighbors, and even allowed herself moments of rest. She wasn't perfect. She still found herself holding on to control at times, but each day she learned to release a little more. One evening, after a long day of work, Emily sat beside her father, watching the sun set once again. Her father turned to her with a knowing smile. "You're doing it, Emily," he said. "You're learning to trust and let go. I'm proud of you." Emily's heart swelled with a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. The farm was still there. The challenges still remained, but she no longer carried them alone. She had found the strength in surrender. It wasn't about abandoning her responsibilities. It was about trusting in others and, most importantly, trusting in herself. Emily had learned that true strength wasn't just in holding on. Sometimes it was in letting go. As the seasons changed and the farm flourished, Emily's life did too. She had discovered a balance between work and rest, between independence and connection. She was still the woman who ran the farm, who cared for her father, and who worked tirelessly, but she was no longer bound by the need to control every aspect of her life. She had learned to let go, to trust in the journey, and to find peace in the process. The strength and surrender had shown her that the future didn't need to be perfect. It only needed to be embraced with an open heart. And in that openness, Emily found not just peace, but a renewed sense of purpose. She had surrendered to the unknown, and in doing so, she had discovered a strength greater than any control she had ever known.